At 84, Nick Nolte still has the same wild, free energy that made him one of Hollywood's most unforgettable bad guys, the tough cop in 48 Hours and the hurt dad in Warrior. But in a recent interview, he surprised everyone. He did not talk about awards, his career, or getting older. He named 7 actors. Actors who turned against him, made fun of him, even embarrassed him in front of big groups. And these were not little names. And when you hear their names, you will get why people were shocked. Because they were not just friends, they were Hollywood stars. Tom Cruise, the one Nolte refused to stand next to. When people talk about the person Nick Nolte hated the most, the talk always starts with Tom Cruise. And honestly, once you hear what happened between them, you will get why his name was at the very top of Nolte's secret hate list for years. Their bad feelings did not start with a fight. It started with a look. Back in 1991, both men were backstage at a Paramount party. Cruise had perfect hair, perfect smile. Helpers crowded around him like he was a king. He nodded nicely at Nolte. Nolte did not nod back. He just said quietly, "That kid is so shiny he makes noise when he moves." People laughed at first until they saw Nolte was serious. Things got worse years later when Nolte was asked to be in an action movie led by Cruise. The studio thought it would be a normal meeting. Instead, Nolte said a line, "I do not act next to actors with logos." Cruise's team heard it in an hour. Cruise looked shocked, like someone told him the world stopped turning. After that, every time they met felt like sparks in the air. During a 2006 charity dinner, Cruise tried to walk past Nolte to the stage. Nolte moved aside but did not make room, forcing Cruise to push by. Cruise's face got tight and Nolte just grinned. The biggest moment came in 2017. At a fancy party in Beverly Hills, Cruise walked in with guards. Nolte was already sitting. As soon as he saw Cruise, he pushed his chair back, stood up, and left in front of everyone. No wait, no words. People who saw it talked about it for days. One producer who was there said, "That was not just rude, that was a strong message." And the message was clear. Nolte would rather leave the room than breathe the same air as Tom Cruise. Julia Roberts, the co-star who turned friendship into a fight. Julia Roberts was supposed to bring the fun to I Love Trouble in 1994. But for Nick Nolte, when she came on set, it felt like someone changed the mood from working together to fighting. The big problem happened just before lunch in their 4th week of shooting. Roberts walked on set, looked at Nolte, and said loud enough for 2 camera guys to hear, "I can't work like this." That one sentence started the fire. Nolte was not the kind to ignore an insult. He answered right away without stopping. "Then stop acting like you do real acting." From that moment, the set was not a job place anymore. It was a fight zone. The two could not stand being near each other. Roberts hated Nolte's rough, hard-to-predict energy. Nolte hated her practiced sweet act and how she could change from nice to cold fast. People there said Julia acted like he was a broken object, while Nolte acted like she was a princess who never got her hands dirty. One scene almost stopped the whole movie. Roberts was supposed to grab Nolte's arm in a fight scene. She did it too hard. Nolte pulled away, stepped close, and said with tight teeth, "Try that again and see what happens." It was not just words. It was a real warning. The director right away said take a break, and from that day their scenes were filmed alone when they could. Roberts later called Nolte completely gross to work with. Nolte did not stay quiet either. He told a friend she wants respect without working for it. That words got out and the fight became a big Hollywood story. There was no sorry, no quiet makeup years later. Nolte never forgave her cold ways. Roberts never forgave his direct words. The hate between them did not go away. It stayed hard. Eddie Murphy, the funny young star who pushed Nolte too far. What really happened between Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy that turned the set of 48 Hours into a fight place by the 2nd week of filming? That is the question people who worked there still talk about. Some blame Murphy's fast rise and too much confidence. Others say it was Nolte's bad temper. The truth is in the middle, and it is worse than fans ever knew. From the first day, Murphy came in like a young boss. He was 21, new from Saturday Night Live, loved by everyone, and sure he could make up lines and do anything. Nolte came in with years of serious movies and wanted rules on set. Both men were good actors and both would not back down. The first big fight came during a normal scene in a diner. Murphy made up a long, funny talk that was not in the lines, making the crew laugh hard. Nolte did not laugh. He hit his hand on the table so hard a coffee cup moved, leaned in and said, "Are you done showing off?" Murphy grinned and said back fast, "Are you done being old?" The whole set got quiet. That was the moment their bad feelings became forever. From then, every day felt like a contest. Murphy would change lines to see Nolte's face. Nolte would stop takes on purpose to mess up Murphy's flow. One time, Nolte said quietly, "This kid thinks movies are a game." While Murphy joked behind Nolte's back, "Someone give Grandpa a rest." Things got really bad during a night filming. Murphy missed his spot on purpose to make them start over. Nolte walked over fast, grabbed Murphy by the shirt not hard, and said low, "You are not the only star here." Murphy pulled free, laughing like he scored in a game only he knew. Producers kept them apart for the rest of the night. Nolte later told a friend, "Eddie is a genius, but he made me hate coming to my own set." And Murphy never said sorry. He did not have to. In his head, he had already won. Robert De Niro, the serious method actor that made Nolte mad. Robert De Niro was not just someone Nick Nolte did not like. He was the actor who made Nolte most upset about the business. The problem was not how they acted as people. It was how they thought about acting. Nolte believed acting came from real feelings, from being in mess. De Niro did acting like a holy thing, the kind you could not ask about. And Nolte hated that more than anything. Their bad feelings got strong during the time around Cape Fear. They were not enemies yet, but the signs were there. De Niro came on set ready perfect, losing weight, changing his body, and practicing alone for hours. Nolte watched it all and felt mad inside. To him, De Niro's way was not hard work. It was showing off to make a story. The moment it broke happened during a break between scenes. De Niro was walking around saying lines, hitting his own face to get into the role. Nolte looked at him, shook his head, and said loud enough for half the crew to hear, "You are not finding the real feeling. You are hurting yourself for people to clap." De Niro stopped. He did not answer. He just looked at Nolte with the sad look people give kids. That quiet look made Nolte madder than any bad words. From then, the two fought in private when they talked about acting. De Niro stood up for method acting. Nolte said he made acting about himself. Someone who heard said Nolte's voice was almost yelling in the big room. "Real people do not live like that. You are acting the work, not the role." It was not a talk. It was a deep hurt in Nolte's feeling about art. Their fight did not end. At award shows and work dinners, Nolte stayed away from De Niro like staying away from dark. De Niro stayed nice but far, the kind of far that hurts more because it looks calm. Nolte later said he respected De Niro's skill, but he could not stand what De Niro stood for. From that time, they promised never to work together again and saw each other as little as they could. Sean Penn, the fight Nolte never wanted to have. The real problem between Nick Nolte and Sean Penn just started when Nolte saw that Penn was like all the things he tried to hide about himself. That seeing hit him hard, and it made their friendship bad long before the first fight started. Penn was young, strong feelings, and always ready for a fight. Nolte was older and tired of people who made every talk a war. So when the two were in the same room, bad feelings did not just happen, they exploded. Their most famous big fight happened during a private Hollywood money raise in 2004. The two were talking about politics, but only at first. Nolte tried to stay calm until Penn leaned close, put a hand hard on Nolte's chest, and said, "You do not know the world like I do." The room got quiet. Nolte pushed Penn's hand away and stepped forward like he was going to hit. A producer got between them fast before it got worse. From that night, the bad feelings got colder. Penn acted like he had the right answers, the self-chosen guard of right. Nolte saw it as too proud. He told a close friend, "He walks around like everyone else is dumb." Penn, at the same time, said Nolte was hard to predict an old way. They fought about everything: politics, how to act, duty, being famous. Penn believed actors should use their name to change the world. Nolte believed actors should be quiet and show truth in the work, not in talks. People who worked with both said being with Nolte and Penn together felt like being caught between two big storms going different ways. There was never make-up, no nice hello at work events. Nolte stayed away from Penn fully, and Penn did the same. The bad feelings that did not end became part of who they are. So now the truth is out. The 7 actors Nick Nolte spent his life not forgiving. Their names, their actions, and the hurts they left paint a Hollywood much darker than fans ever thought. What do you think? Do you think Nolte was right to keep that anger all these years? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories just like this.